Cartoon Network. The channel that was built on the back of the reruns of the old Hanna-Barbera cartoons. How the times have changed. We have more original cartoons than ever now. 18 currently. Here's a list from the top rated to the bottom according to the ratings of each series' last 10 rating scores. Keep in mind we are relying on Wikipedia for this information. So you know, it's questionable. And I do not have information on the 2014 Tom and Jerry or any current Pokemon. Our star of this story is Uncle Grandpa, whose show is ranked Cartoon Network's number 11 most popular show. It's also the 6th worst performing original series on Cartoon Network and is the worst performing current Cartoon Network studio series altogether. Now, in order to properly evaluate Uncle Grandpa, I have to actually watch more than 2 episodes of the series. That's how many episodes I watched before I called it quits. I gave Teen Titans Go more of a chance than I did this thing.
2 episodes later?
Nope, only a few episodes will do ya to figure out why this series isn't doing so great. But before we get to the reason why people should steer clear of Uncle Grandpa, we should talk about what the show is trying to emulate. Yes, you heard right. Uncle Grandpa's formula is an actual copy of other formulas in the cartoon industry. You know, a character who shows up out of nowhere to solve people's problems using cartoon antics and perhaps causing a problem themselves. It's been around since 1957 and maybe even longer. But of course, that was a book first. But that book features one of the most iconic fictional characters of all time. One who starred in TV specials, numerous TV series, and a live-action movie. That character is the Cat in the Hat. Much like Uncle Grandpa, the cat comes in uninvited to try to cheer up 2 children. And much like Uncle Grandpa, he causes trouble with his cartoon antics in order to help these children. He also brings his friends into the action with Thing 1 and Thing 2, who I despised ever since I watched the movie. And you also have the voice of reason with the fish. Now, it doesn't go into the extreme as Uncle Grandpa, but the concept is still the same. If you want a closer example to Uncle Grandpa, then we have to go back to 1993 when we were first introduced to some of the zaniest cartoon characters of all time. The Warner Brothers and their sister Dot. Now I know what you're saying. How are the main characters from Animaniacs the same as Uncle Grandpa? Would they use the same crazy cutaway gags as Uncle Grandpa? The plot is almost the same as well, except that instead of a child needing help with learning a lesson, it's an adult being rude, mean, and abusive. Usually a historical figure or a pop icon, and the Warners using cartoon antics to show them the errors of their way, or in the case of Einstein, Beethoven, and others, helping them to succeed. It's the same idea, but there are some times that the formula does not work. Case in point, 1998 and the show Hysteria. While the idea of using comedy to teach history, turning historical figures into parodies of pop icons, was fine at point. There's also the misfire of using one-note characters to do the job the Warners were doing in Animaniacs. This was the Kids Chorus, a group of characters that show up out of nowhere to aggravate historical figures. Again, the biggest problems with these characters were they were one-note and there were too many of them on screen at once. You had a kid who yelled loud, a hyper-fan girl, a kid with a frog voice, a brain-fried teenage boy. You get the idea. There are too many of these characters on screen and they lack the charm and charisma of the Warners. The concept was good, the execution was not. Another show that uses the same concept as Uncle Grandpa in the surreal aspect was Sam and Max Freelance Release. Granted, the plot may not be the same. Well, there was a field trip episode, but the sight gags and the bizarreness of the episodes were on par with Uncle Grandpa. But Sam and Max didn't last long. In fact, it barely lasted 1 season, with false starts and abrupt cancellations. It may have been too bizarre. Which brings us back to the reason why Uncle Grandpa is not doing too well. It may be too bizarre. But then again, so is Adventure Time at times. But that's the thing. The 2 words, at times. When it comes to the bizarre, when it comes to the surreal, moderation might be the key. A good example of this is Go-Go Dodo from Tiny Toon Adventures. Go-Go is a surreal, bizarre character who uses sight gags and lives in the surreal world of Wacky Land. You see him in the opening credits, but he is very rarely featured. And we very rarely go to Wacky Land. Because of this minimal use, the show is likable. But then you get to something like Aladdin the series, where you find out that maybe a little too much of the genie is a bad thing. He was fine in the movie when his role was at a minimal, but when he became more of a main character in the series, and was on screen more, he became annoying. Even when Robin Williams came back in the third movie, he was still annoying. Having too much of the surreal, too much of the odd, hurts the series. That is the reason why Problem Solvers didn't last. But the show's biggest problem? Well, the reason why The Cat in the Hat and Animaniacs work so well, that the book, shows, and characters, not the movie, became iconic is because the characters had charm. They were likable. They were quick-witted. And they had a show of confidence. Then we get to Uncle Grandpa, the most unlikable character of the series. You lose the charisma and the charm of The Cat in the Hat and the Warners. He has a very unlikable voice that makes him come off as rather annoying.
Okay, Mr. Gus, it's up to you now. I'm gonna need you to go in there and scare those kids away.
Can you imagine the Warners with this voice?
Quiet, please. I have something to tell you.
Oh, story time! Get right to the scary part.
What scary part?
The part with my pet.
Yeah, your pet. Okay, good pet. Now listen, the studio is giving a big fancy party for some new investors with movie stars and everything, and you have been invited.
Movie stars? Sal Pfeiffer, Mel Gibson, Don Knotts.
Please! There's also some bad news.
The Arthur is putting on a swimsuit calendar.
She is? Of course not. No, the bad news is you can only go if I train you to be polite, clean, well-dressed children on your best behavior.
I thought you said it was a party.
It's not the same, is it? Now let's give Uncle Grandpa a different voice.
Uncle Grandpa?
Having trouble making friends, huh?
Yeah, I don't really fit in with anyone. I'm just not cool.
That weird new kid is talking to his milk.
Let's go hang somewhere else. See what I mean? This whole making friends thing is just so stressful and hard and worrisome.
Whoa, I think I get it. I had trouble making friends when I was your age, too.
You did?
Yeah, when I was your age, I didn't have a single friend. Good morning.
You know this is an all-girls school, right?
Yeah. Would you call that an improvement? I don't know, it's my voice. I'm kind of biased about it. Just a few tweaks here and there, and Uncle Grandpa could have been a good series. Even if you take the annoying voice away and the in-your-face gags, I'm not really sure if that would actually save the series. You have to remember each viewer is different and they each like their own thing. Those two things, along with the animation, are what turned me off from the series. Plus, I really couldn't connect with Uncle Grandpa. For a child, it might be actually something different. For an adult, it may be because of the gross-out humor. Who knows? Now, do I downright hate the series? No, I just think it's annoying. I will say this, I do admire the guy's creativity. Someone who come up with a series like this must have some kind of sick mind. But I do wish his ideas were spread out just a little bit more. And remember, this could have been a whole lot worse. This is something that came out of the secret fortress of Mount Awesome. And the character designs are... this? Anyway, yes, Uncle Grandpa is on its way out. It still has plenty of episodes left. But after they're done with those, there's going to be no more. And remember, all this talk about if this or that could save Uncle Grandpa, this is all speculation. Remember, there's never a wrong way or a right way to do something when it comes to creativity. There's always your way and everybody else's way. The creator of Uncle Grandpa expressed his way in this art form, and even though a lot of people didn't like it, there are some people who do. There is a quote from an anime called Love Live that I'd like to share when it comes to this kind of subject.
I'm going to keep believing in us. And you know what? Maybe no one will ever give us a shot. Maybe we'll never get any support at all. But I'm not giving up. We still want to work hard and give people whatever it is we're able to give them. I want them all to know this feeling, to share it with them.
The point is, there is always going to be someone who will enjoy your work. It may not be the majority, still it's worth it. If you can make at least one person smile, if you can entertain just one person, everything Peter Braungart has done, the creator of Uncle Grandpa, is worth it in the end. So we never give up, we just strive to improve and share our creativity with the world. Let's talk about the elephant in the room. The top 5 Cartoon Network series. Now I'm not surprised Ninjago is number 1 and Steven Universe is number 2. I'm also happy that We Bare Bears is number 5. What I'm not happy about is that Teen Titans Go and Powerpuff 2016 is 3 and 4. They're both not good series and both have been panned by critics and adult fans. Wait a minute! Adult fans? Yeah, we have to keep reminding ourselves that these series are designed for kids. And kids love watching these series. We can whine, we can complain all we want, but we are not in the target demographic. So no matter how bad we think a series is, or how much of the heart has been taken out of a series, it doesn't matter if we are not the ones who are meant to watch it. We may not like it, but that's the way it is. Also, Adventure Time is one step above Uncle Grandpa, so that show is losing steam. I'm Tunamp. Thanks for watching.